It all makes sense now. Rox was not bad. Rox was most likely labeled a really harsh criminal because of his actions, but as we've seen throughout the story of One Piece, your actions don't make you necessarily bad. Look at Luffy, for example. He's kidnapped the mermaid princess, waged direct war on the world government, and invaded the Area 51 of One Piece, also known as Egghead. Looking from the inside out, these incidents would definitely make someone look bad. But remember, there is a motive behind every action. We all know Luffy wasn't doing these things out of bad intentions. He was instead doing them for a greater cause or to simply help out his friends. I believe this was also the case with Rox. Rox did not attack the Celestial Dragons for no reason. There was definitely a reason. Going off the context clues and information we were provided in the story, I think Rox wanted to be free like Nika as well. Rox obviously knew about the existence of Nika, or Joy Boy, because of his Jolly Roger. The Rox Pirate's Jolly Roger features a skull with a flame emitting from it. These flames look swirly and almost identical to Luffy's Gear 5 hair flames. You guys may think this is a stretch, but I believe Rox had a Nika form like Luffy as well. I actually believe Rox was the previous user of Bonnie's Devil Fruit. During the God Valley incident, I believe Rox became free enough to perceive a future like Nika, making him too a Nika man. Just keep listening. This'll all make sense in a few minutes. Rox was erased from the world. But why? Was it because he wanted to be king of the world? No, because Blackbeard also wants to be king of the world, and the world government isn't racing to erase him from existence. Was it because Rox attacked celestial dragons? It could be, but I highly doubt it. I don't think even that is enough to get someone wiped from existence. Luffy attacked a celestial dragon. Then the Iron Giant also attacked the home of the Celestials, but yet they didn't erase them from existence. Luffy and the Iron Giant are still here to this day. Even the Gorosei remember it. Well, maybe they erased Rox from existence because he had too much power for a pirate? Honestly, this isn't the answer either. There are plenty of pirates who have extreme power around the world. Kaido ran an entire underground devil fruit operation, yet the world government never stepped towards him. Some of you may say Wano isn't affiliated with the world government, so of course they would avoid messing with Kaido. Well, Pirate Island also isn't a government-affiliated country, yet they still chose to erase Rox from existence. Nobody seems to know the real history of Rox or why he was erased. As I said earlier, Rox was the previous user of Bonnie's Devil Fruit. If the world government saw Rox turn into Nika, this would 100% make Rox worthy of being deleted from history. The world government most likely thought Rox was the second coming of Nika, but what they didn't know is he had the Toshi Toshi no Mi instead of the Gomu Gomu no Mi. Rox inherited the will of being free like Luffy and Bonnie did, but see, everybody's perception of freedom has a different meaning. Luffy's freedom represents living life with no restraints. He can go wherever he pleases and eat as much food as he wants. Bonnie's representation of freedom is just wanting to be free to explore the world with her dad. Rox wanted to be free by becoming the ruler of the world. If you're at the top of the pinnacle, then nobody can tell you what to do. Rox believed in a freedom where you could do as you please, truly making the world a lawless planet. Oda is quite literally giving us hints. He is doing so through Blackbeard. Blackbeard found out about Rox's ideology and decided to honor him by making Rox's old home base a lawless pirate paradise. This was Blackbeard's way of fulfilling Rox's dream of letting everybody be free. Blackbeard was the same guy to preach dreams never die to Luffy. This is why I think Rox allowed his crewmates to kill each other so they could be a free, lawless pirate crew. If Rox intervened in his subordinates' duel, then he's technically restricting them of their freedom. Before the Roger pirates sailed to Laugh Tale, Rox was the first person to know the history of the world. You don't have to go to Laugh Tale to know basic parts of the Void Century's history. Look at Vegapunk, for example. He's been on Egghead for a very long time, yet he knows parts of the history. Rox, too, knew this history, and I think he felt like maybe if Joy Boy would have strived to be king of the world, then maybe the situation would have played out differently. If he was king of the world, then the 20 kingdoms wouldn't have had the power to get rid of him. Now, this is why Rox met his demise. Rox wanted to be king of the world to achieve his version of freedom, but little did he know there was someone already occupying that throne. And the very person occupying that throne hates Nika, Joy Boy, the D-Clan, and anyone who tries to overthrow them of their position of power. That person is Emu. It was only right that Rox got erased from history. They thought he was the second coming of Joy Boy, and he wanted to take the empty throne. He was truly a nightmare for the world government. I also know why Roger teamed up with Garp to help him out. I think during the time of this incident, Luffy's mom was a celestial dragon. Well, Luffy wasn't born then, but dragons still had a connection to Luffy's mom. Why else would Garp protect a celestial dragon? He told Sabo's brother that they were scumbags. So why would Garp want to protect scumbags? To further prove my point of Luffy's mom being a celestial dragon, check this out. Luffy was inspired by Hanuman, also known as Bajrang Bali. Luffy has an attack called Bajrang Gun, so there is clearly a connection between the two. Hanuman's mother was named Anjana. She was a celestial nymph in the past, but got cursed into being reborn as a monkey on Earth. In One Piece terms, I believe Luffy's mom was a celestial dragon, but got cast down to Earth by her original family for taking a liking to a lesser being, also known as Monkey D. Dragon. They casted her down to Earth to save her life because if St. Figureland found out, she'd be sentenced to death. This actually makes complete sense. If Dragon truly was a Navy officer, then most likely he has been to Mariejois. I'm also assuming he has visited God Valley along with Garp and other Navy personnel when he was young. Here is where he first met Luffy's mother when they were really young. As they got older, they realized that they weren't that much different at all, but yet their different backgrounds made them seem like night and day from each other. They also bonded on how it was dumb that their kinds didn't like each other. They were actually in similar situations. Luffy's mom was a celestial dragon, a corrupt heritage of individuals who looked down on humans. Dragon was a part of the Navy who were supposed to save people, but yet they inflicted pain on the innocent to get the bad. This caused them to take a liking to each other. Much like Anjana being reborn on Earth as a monkey, when Luffy's mother was cast down to the lower lands of the world, she adopted the last name Monkey and the moniker D. The D in her name would symbolize her taking a stand against her used-to-be family and heritage. When Luffy was born, he stayed with them for a while, before eventually it was uncovered that a Celestial was having relations with a measly human. The Holy Knights were sent after Dragon and his family to execute them. They sent Luffy to stay with Garp to hide the fact that they had a child. This is how Garp ended up raising Luffy. Once Figureland and the Holy Knights arrived, they sentenced Luffy's mom to death. Dragon managed to call the Navy for help, but no one would dare oppose the Celestials since it was taboo. The Holy Knights managed to capture Luffy's mom, taking her back to the Holy Land of Mariejois. Soon after, she was executed. This prompted Dragon to become a revolutionary and wage war against the world government and celestial dragons. There were also other factors along the way that fueled his hate for the world government, such as the O'Hara incident. This is why I think Dragon already knew who the Holy Knights were, because he had a run-in with them in the past. They most likely spun the narrative on Dragon, saying he kidnapped a celestial dragon and ended her life. This is why Dragon is the world's most wanted man. I'm not buying that he's the world's most wanted man because he directly challenges the world government. I think it's more than that to his story. By that logic, the entire revolutionary army should have sky-high bounties because they all oppose the world government. If that's the case, then Sabo should have the highest bounty in the series. He directly tried to attack Emu. Yeah, Dragon's backstory is definitely going to be special. Well, that's all for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.